And welcome back to the Bobby Dupree Show, and we're in the fourth quarter. And I might add that Jake Delhomme is really a super nice guy. The big-time football NFL player that he became didn't go to his head. He's still the little Cajun boy from Breaux Bridge, Louisiana, and people admire him for that. And, of course, his abilities to pass on some good enjoyment on weekends for a number of years. And here I'm at Swallows, and I'm on the way out, and I meet a longtime friend, Mr. Thomas. Oh, shoot.
And you said the first name a minute ago.
Not Harold Thomas.
It'll come. Mr. Thomas.
Mr. Thomas with IESI. And what he's showing me right there, he actually had three, he's only got two hands, but he actually uses 3 cell phones to take care of St. Landry Parish. In different parts of the parish is different clearness of the reception.
So you got to switch phones, depending on where he's at for reception.
Depending where he is, but what a super guy. I met Donald Thomas.
There you go.
I met him through Joe Fred when Joe Fred was on the Solid Waste Commission, and a friendship began then, and you can see we're still good personal friends. And this is, I was passing in school, was just letting out on South Street Elementary, and I think he's the assistant principal and about everything else at South Street Elementary. And I'm speaking of Julius Alcindor, and of course he's also one of our city councilmen for the city of Opelousas. Thank you for that picture. And here's little Jenna Arneville, and that is Vicky's grandchild, and Jason Donna's beautiful little baby girl. And that little child has hearing aids already.
Oh, really?
Isn't that something? And has therapists coming by to help her.
Speech therapy.
Speech therapy.
Excellent.
And here's Bernard Seafood, large shipper, buyer and shipper of seafood throughout the South and I guess the world, because they also ship by air, and of course they also ship by UPS and FedEx. This was last Saturday morning. Naturally, when I see bikers, I've got to find out who they are. And we're looking at, on the left would be Richard and Sherry Sylvester, and on the right would be Mike and Shirley Godwin. And they're from Ville Platte. They're some Ville Platians, is what Kelly calls them. And they were on their way to Natchez, and they were going to be staying at the Grand Hotel. When you go to Natchez, I recommend the Grand Hotel. I says, when you get there, would you ask to be on the riverside? They said, we've already taken care of that. That wasn't their first trip. Hopefully they didn't get too wet, because it was kind of raining early in the morning, if you remember right.
I like that 3-wheel bike.
3-wheel bike is beautiful, and they love them.
Let me sneak a sponsor in here real quick while we're looking at that good Chevron fuel. Quarters Casino has got all that good Chevron fuel. Go by. They've got great parking lots with a good cover over your head so you don't have to get wet. You get all that good Chevron fuel, from diesel to gasoline. They've got the convenience store, huge selection inside, even with gifts inside. Crispy Crunchy Chicken if you're trying to get on the road. Great drink selection. They've got El Pico de Gallo, the Mexican cantina and restaurant that's open Monday through Sundays from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. as well. Go by and tell manager Pat Willis we said howdy. Now let's go back to some more photos.
Okay, and this is at Louisiana Downs on Saturday, and I guess the second person that I knew was Harry Benoit, and this is a picture of Harry Benoit, who is now a lobbyist. Formerly, he was a legislator from St. Martin Parish, and that's his daughter, Miss Lelia Angel. And I didn't realize it, but Harry has a first-class horse that has won maybe $300,000-400,000 winnings, maybe more than that. I didn't write the number down, but didn't do that well that day. But you know, they can't win them all.
Can't win them all. That's
and this is a young lady who takes care of reservations, and standing in this is Vicky Walker, and in the back, of course, is Mr. Joe Rink, who handles all of our business transactions with the 2 syndicates we've formed. And Mr. Joe and Vicky know each other from, you know, years past. And this is the Carl and Angie DeVille family, and the grandchild being held right there. And this is Carl and John Kidder from Arnaville in the middle, and of course Mr. Joe Rink on the right. And this is a better picture of Carl along with Irwin, who rode with us. He's from Karen Crow, but originally from the Arnaville area. Graduated, and they all graduated or were right near the same age as Pat Morrow, went to school in Arnaville, Louisiana. And I'm speaking of John and Mr. Irwin. And it's not Derby Day unless you got a hat on a lady, right? That's correct. And these young ladies allowed me to take a beautiful picture. Look at the hats. And the hats were really stylish. And Super Derby Day, it was the 33rd, I think it is. And that was our horse right there. Number 5, yeah. I'm in to shine, but we got up to about 4th place at about the 3/4 mile marker, and then fell back to 8th. Got tired. And these 2 young men right here, on the left is Trent. He's, I think, an assistant general manager, and on the right is Chris, and he's in marketing. 2 nice young fellas. I had met Trent in the past when I was on the racing commission, and he reminded me of that. And on the way out, the first person I met, remember I said I had met 2 that I knew, and Butch Barron. That's our exalted ruler for the Elks over here. For the Elks here in Opelousas. And he was with Elks members from the Shreveport. They have a big, large... He goes to a lot of the conferences, you know, state conference and national conferences. Oh, no, they make them all. We get good representation at all those functions. And this is the general manager of he's the senior vice president and general manager of the whole operation, the racetrack and the casino hotel. And I'm speaking of Mr. Mike Rich, and he was kind enough to let me take a picture of him. And they do a beautiful job, I might add, and really a great host for the various events that take place at Louisiana Downs. And then we got this. What you up to here? You got a sluice gate on your culvert? Vicky and her son, Jace, are installing a new culvert over from that's Horseshoe Lake on the left, and on the right is a Patasaw Bayou. There it is. That's Patasaw right there. A big, beautiful pipe, I might add. And this was Tuesday night. Monday night, went over to Bobby Duhan's house, and that's his young son Dirk standing up there with Hunter. Remember the horse we had, Hunter's Saloon? Right. Well, that's the Hunter. That's the Hunter. And the young in the white shirt is a young Carson Duhan. I say Duhan. South of I-10 is Duyon. And this is Bobby Duhan, or Duyon, whatever, and Mr. Jim Demmel out of Texas, formerly out of Houston area when we met him years ago when we sold that baby horse for $77,000. That's the day we met Jim Demmel, and we're still friends, and he brought some horses to be kind of broken and weaned over at Bobby. Has some layup places that he rents, that he keeps the horses. And this young man right here, and I worked, when I was in high school, I worked 3 years before school and on the weekends at Cash Drug Wholesale. And this is Kenny Berg-Veillon, who worked side by side. Oh, I worked side by side with him and a lot of others, and most of the others are deceased. Kenny, thanks for the nice conversation and reminding of low wages, but we all moved up and did well. And maybe those were some good lessons we learned. This couple here, I was stopping in to get some coffee at the Coffee Depot in Scott, Louisiana, when I went to the wake over there, Miss Molly Domang. Well, this couple right here, they from Maryland. I didn't even get the names. I just took the picture. Right near the railroad track on around that dog leg. On that dog leg, right. And Larry Leger brought me there right after they opened. And they have a nice business. Their beignets, I think, an order of 3, which is all you really need, $1.99.
Wow.
Way better the pricing than in New Orleans, and they are delicious. And this gentleman here is Mr. Lee Bro. And Mr. Lee Bro is from Scott, Louisiana. And I might add that talking to him, I don't know how I get into all these conversations, but I guess I asked him how his health was. He said, my health is good. And years ago, he had a defibrillator.
Yeah, defibrillator.
Defibrillator inserted on his chest here.
Not a pacemaker, something to actually restart the heart if it has an issue.
It performs up to 7 different functions.
Wow.
And it's all automatic. It has its own brain. And I might add that he is the longest living person with this type of device.
No kidding.
In the world.
Wow.
Not in Scott.
How you like
he
that?
told me the world. Okay, I'll believe him. And real nice guy. I hope he's watching today. I gave him a card, and real nice fella.
Scott is where the West begins. Right?
Yeah, that's correct.
How about this picture?
This picture here is really, this is going back in time. And
as the Southern Club in 1954.
And on the left-hand side is Bob Batten, Nolan Baddow on the drums, second to the left. Standing up next to Nolan is Mr. Bootsy Tatman, and next to him is Mr. Johnny Baddow. That was in 1954. It says here that it was the Christmas party for Intex, but that would have been United Gas, if I'm not mistaken.
They became Intex later, maybe. It's probably.
And I'll tell you who could answer that right away. Jim Tatman got his start working at Intex.
Kidding.
And the young man that runs Barry's Air Conditioning, Barry Duplichan, over in Lafayette, they worked, he worked, I think, for the Lafayette office.
How about Mr. Curtly LeBlanc from Port Barry, too? I think would have been with that company, if I
don't want to get too far out, but they sold gas air conditioning units back then.
No kidding.
That's correct.
Wow.
And then they both left, both Barry and Jim, and went, and I think, what's his name?
Got a roll.
Richard, Danny Richard Sr.
Yeah.
He worked with Jim and them
There you go.
at the Intex.
How about this? We got this new thing going on. Opelousas Main Street and the City of Opelousas have unveiled a brand new Christmas ornament of the Jim Bowie oak with the little red house right next to it. We got the real one. Show the real one here as well, Mark. I don't know how well that comes out on camera, but you saw the picture.
I went and bought mine.
And this photo is of the original, the little red brick building, and of the Jim Bowie oak. They are $15 per ornament, 2 for $28. You can get them at Sebastian Fine Jewelry, Java Square, Farfallinas, or the Tourist Information Center.
Spoke to Mr. Robert DeRanger, and he's assisting Alan Gray Promotions Saturday night at the Sunset, what was formerly Sunset Recreation Club. I got you. And they're going to be putting on 10 MMA events starting at 7 o'clock. The gates open at 5 p.m. That is this Saturday. And
Find your prayer book.
Got to get my prayer book.
And Hunters for the Hungry is going to come up September 23rd on a Sunday. We'll give you more information. The big spot here in Opelousas will be Nissan of Opelousas and Cajun Field in Lafayette. That's on the 23rd, September 23rd, for the Hunters for the Hungry.
Okay, they're going to have 10 fights at this Saturday night event at the Sunset Club. And Heavenly Father, increase my faith. This weekend, like every weekend, Andrew and I ask that you consider attending the church of your choice. Thanks for viewing. Thanks for listening. Tell a friend. Thank you, Andrew.
Generosity. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
You're watching KDCG TV, uniquely Acadiana.